What up? My name is Brad. Welcome back to another Dokkan video. Today we are talking about team building because I'm on a Facebook group and I noticed like a lot of people don't know how to really team build. They ask a lot, hey man, can you make a good team out of this? Can you make a good team out of this? So on and so forth. So I figured, you know what? Sit down and let's actually do this. So most of your units are going to be, you can do 9 out of 10 times. You can kind of rank them based upon their cost, how good they are. 58, well for a TUR unit, LRs are obviously the best, so to speak. Mine are free-to-play LRs, but LRs are the best because they're technically speaking the strongest. But they're 99 costs. We don't really count them. They fit on the team. They're not so much a leader for it. But your main leaders that are going to be the best are going to be 58. And the reason that they are the best, so to speak, is that they are either like Gogeta Intellect. They give 120% to a certain type, only good, and then they get 50% to the bad guys. So you get 3 key, 120% to anybody who's super intellect, which is relatively easy to understand, right? Cooler does the physical one. He's Extreme Fizz, key plus 3, HP, attack, and defense has 120%. And then Super Fizz gets 1 key, which you don't really want to run Super Fizz or Super Intellect on either one of the, or Extreme Intellect on either one of these teams, because you want to go with the one that fits for the 120% if you have those units. But if you don't, it can be a nice little fit to be like, okay, you know what? Super Saiyan Blue Vegito will fit on this team for the time being until I get another Extreme Fizz unit, basically, or Gotenks or whatever the heck you want to use. It'll fit for the time being. See, so then we get into Omega and we get into Gogeta. And they're the first two category leaders that we get on Global. There's 2 other ones, there's Peppy Gals and World Tournament, but these are the 2 that are viable fighting-wise. World Tournament's not bad, but there's not too many units that are great for it. I don't think we have the leader yet. The leader should be the new Super Vegito, unless there is one on Global I don't know about. Either way. So he's a category leader, meaning that he has a category based around GT. The Shadow Dragon Saga category gets 3 key, and it gets 150%. So technically speaking, if you have the proper units, Omega and Gogeta are the best teams in the game. They do the most amount of damage, technically speaking. He does get Fusion, but keep in mind Fusion only means the ones that fuse with the Potara dance. Not Potara dance. With the Fusion dance, not the Potara earrings. But yeah, those are your main 4 type of really good ones. So you have your 120% leads for Super, 120% leads for Extreme, and you have your category leads. These are your 2 main categories right now in Global. JP has a bunch more. Don't worry about JP for right now. If you play JP, then you get it, but don't worry too much about it for the time being. We'll get all the stuff they get eventually. So when we go into our teams, right? So let's say we just start with you. So we know for sure that we're going to want Super Intellect to start with, right? So we're just going to look up everything that's Super Intellect. And we probably don't want NR, SR. There's some SRs that are good in the game, but if you're looking for just damage output to take on Dokkan events, 99% of the time you're not going to want them unless they're like Jocko or Chaozu or someone like that. But let's go into this. So, we know for sure we're going to want the LR Piccolo. He is super int. We know for sure we're going to want him. Trunks, he's another 48 cost-wise, and he's just a really good unit overall. You look through his stats, causes immense damage. That's what 48 is the immense. Supreme is 42. So you don't really have to worry about his leader skill, obviously. He is a nuker, or like a mini nuker, so to speak. He only gets 15% per orb, but he does change strength to intellect, which is very, very clutch for team building. So every kind of strength one that pops up, it's going to change to intellect. Really, really comes in handy. And then we're going to go with you just because you're the next highest. Then we're going to go with him just because he's Rainbow Starred. Anytime a unit's Rainbow Starred, they fit to 120%, 150% lead. They're probably going to be pretty good. Just a little thing there for you. So now when you're looking for your final unit, you can either choose to go with somebody that links well, go with somebody that fits well. If you want to go with a certain type of lore that your own personal thing, you only want Super Saiyans or something, you can do something along those lines. But normally, again, you'll go with another Rainbow Star, but you can definitely change him out and go with like a Bardock, depending on what their passives are at that point. So cause extreme damage, which you don't really ever want extreme damage, because he's not a TUR. But I believe Goku Jr. also causes extreme until he causes extreme until he awakens, so it's not really a huge factor. You normally want to go with a TUR, which is a Transcended UR, level 120 out of 120, which I don't think any of these are gonna be. Yeah, so I only have that guy. So this is kind of up to your own personal preference. It sounds kind of weird, but I actually kind of like to run Videl. See, so this is where it kind of comes in, having a character that's there either for support or so on and so forth. The reason I like having Videl, I need to raise up her super attack to obviously really take advantage of it. But it lowers their attack and defense from her super attack, and her passive, attacked enemy minus 20% attack, which is just crazy. So she actually really lowers their attack a lot. And you recover 20% of damage dealt as health. So if you deal 100,000, you know what I mean, you just got back 20,000 HP. And you can do with 120% lead, that's not a problem at all. You can see she fits into Peppy Gal. So she doesn't really fit on the team or anything. Well, she fits on this team, but she doesn't fit on any kind of category team or anything. Peppy Gals, I don't know if they had a leader or not. I haven't really looked at it. I just use Peppy Gals for other things. But anyway, so this is the team that I rock for Super Intellect right now. It's not amazing or anything like that, but it does get the job done. I was able to beat Janimba's event with it, if that gives you a little bit of insight to it. It's a pretty good team, honestly. Just for, I don't have very many intellect units, so it's not bad. But we'll go over here. So this is when we start categories. And I chose Omegas for a very good reason. So don't get me wrong, Gogeta has the better category team if you have the right units. But Omega also kind of has, it's right on par, if not a little bit better. You know what I mean? They're very, very close. So when you go into this, when you're looking for the category you want, you're going to take the category that they're part of, do the OK, and we're only looking for anything that fits in on that category. So this is all that I have that fits on that category. So we know we want Gogeta. That's an instant. We know that one. Okay, there's a couple units that if you really look at the TV show, 99% of the time, the villains that were really good in the TV show, Omega, Boo, all that kind of stuff, they're going to be pretty good in the games too. So then you start getting into, well, he's decent and he's decent, but I don't know how much you really want to use them. You got to remember that Omega also gives, on top of the Shadow Dragon Saga, he also gives just straight up physical types. I believe 50%? Yeah, HP, attack, and defense plus 50% and key plus 3. So you still get 3 keys, so you're still getting your supers off. So this is where it might be a little more viable to go out of here and be like, I don't really want either one of these guys because they're not that amazing. You're definitely going to want her, though. You're definitely going to want Pan because she fits. You look through this kind of stuff, attack and defense plus 30% for all allies. So very, 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 very good supportive unit. You need to have some support units. That's just how it is. You're going to have to accept support units because you're going to need them. So we can go here, and we can actually just go to just Fizz, and then get rid of this category, which I forget every single time. Go right here. So now you start looking at, okay, a broader spectrum, but you need to take units that are going to be viable. You know what I mean? You really want things that are still going to hit really hard. My Cooler, personally, is Super Attack 10, and he is a physical unit, so he fits in on the 50%, plus he gets attack and defense plus 100% just for being Cooler. So... So we're actually going to pop Cooler on the team just because. Personally, I love Super Vegito Blue. So I'm actually going to put him on the team. He does attack multiple times. He still gets 50% boost. Very, very good. And my Goku Black is actually monstrous. But there might be times where you're like, you know what? I don't think Super Blue fits. Gotenks seals super attacks. That's going to be more viable. But if they are not sealable, then you got to go for all-out damage. You see what I mean? So this is a pretty viable team for a category, kind of mixed in with the normal. You may not want this many Fizz units, personally, because if you go into a strength event, all you have is Gogeta to take your hits, which Gogeta is basically an LR, so you're fine. But but for the most part, you may want to swap it around a little bit and try to kind of change it up. But that's just a rough look at categories. So you go over here to this one, Super Blue Vegito. So this guy is the quintessential Dokkan super unit. You kind of need to have it to get the game really moving. At least I did, unless you're paying money. If you're free to play, yeah, you definitely need to have him, or something along the lines of him, till you start getting some units like Cooler and Omega and stuff like that. But up to that point, he basically what he does is he gives super attack or super type. So every good guy in the game gets a 3-key boost and 50% boost to HP, attack, and defense. So this is when you can really start busting your LRs. You just grab all your best units. My cost is over, but you just grab all your best units. We don't really use Hercule too much, so we'll probably throw on Piccolo. I'm actually going to go this one just strictly because he has Super Attack 10, whereas my Intellect does not. He really good for defenses. She's good because of her ally boost, so you need to have a nice little support unit. And then you might want some more it all depends on what event you're doing at this point. But you could pop even like Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 in here. Now, to me, that's a powerhouse of a team just for 50% lead even. Like, that's gonna clean up some Dokkan events like no problem. Piccolo is probably the most lackluster just because you got to get his super attack off and max super attack. Yada, yada, yada. He's probably the one you could change out the most. But overall, that team's going to clean up any really Dokkan event. Now, there's not really much else to cover with team building. If you have any questions or anything, make sure you tweet me over on Twitter. It's at BradicalYT. Leave me a comment section below. Just leave me a whole comment section down there leave me a comment down there in the comment section. Let me know if you got any questions, if there's something you just can't figure out, and maybe I can help you out. No guarantees. I probably won't answer if there's too many questions that are like, hey man, here's all my units, build me a team. It's like, nah man, you gotta learn the game yourself. But that's why I made this video, so you can hopefully learn a little bit easier. It's really not hard. Once you start getting the feel of it and how to do it, there's a lot of stuff you can go on. You can look on DBZ Space. That's going to give you what characters like link well together, so on and so forth. You can go to Wikia and just kind of look through some characters. You can just honestly sit there and look in your own box and really just kind of, you can just click through it. So this is what I always do. I go like this, and then it's like, okay, so what links they have? Hero, Soul v Soul. Okay, Fear and Faith, Legendary Power. So, well, these are all the LRs, so they're all going to link pretty well. But you get what I'm saying. So, main ones you're going to look for, I'll just give you a quick little thing real fast. You're looking for Fierce Battle, because attack plus 15%, which is very, very solid. Fuse Fighter is nice on a fusion team. It's amazing, because I think you get, what, Key plus 2? Yeah, Key plus 2 on Fuse Fighter. Over and a Flash, it's Key plus 3. So, all these units with Over and a Flash can pretty much sit on a team pretty nicely. When you start looking at units like, where's he at? Goku Black. Is he really after all this? There he is. So when you start looking at like Goku Black, Extreme Type Key plus 3 attack, plus 3,000 for every Key Sphere obtained. Now my Goku Black is pretty well filled in with the 17 additional and the 9 crit. So he's hitting pretty. He hits about 600,000 on Cooler's team, give or take, and he lowers their attack and defense. Plus, he gets boosted for every Key Sphere. But the Extreme Type Key plus 3, that's something that's very, very important. So if you want to build like a Goku Black team, you can do that pretty easy. Anyways, if you got any questions for me, let me know down below. But I'm going to dip out of here, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure you leave me a like and subscribe. Thank you. Deuces.